Now we'll call the meeting to order. Planning and zoning. Want to take the roll call?
Curtis?
Yes.
Percy?
That's the only two, yes ma'am.
I'm sure Chad will be here. Want to approve the agenda?
You're ready. I'll motion. I don't know what we do, but if we're not a quorum, I don't know how to proceed from there.
Okay, we're down to public comments. Does anybody have any public comment? None? The planning and zoning office report.
Okay, October was a rather slow month, as you can see by the receipts. We had a couple permits is all. We do have a hearing for variance today. We have a presentation from a solar energy developer. There's Chad.
Chad?
Hello.
There is nothing on the agenda, and your claims are in front of you. We have nothing on the agenda for zoning board of appeals next month, so there won't be any hearing for the committee in early December. So that's basically it for me. Pretty, like I said, pretty slow.
We get these notices from you for special zoning. Is it required that we be here? I kind of ignore them. I don't know.
No, it's a public hearing. Anybody can attend. It's your choice.
It's not one way or the other?
No.
Okay. Okay, we're down to variance for McCullough Implement.
Okay. McCullough Implement has requested a variance. They have, you're familiar with where they're located, out on Route 1, right across from the Route 1 bridge.
Right.
They have an existing showroom there that's older, and they've asked to build a new showroom and parts and storage area, but they are within 100 feet of the state right-of-way where they propose to build it, and they are requesting a variance to put the building in their location. So it passed zoning board of appeals unanimously. It actually will be farther away than their existing showroom is now, so it'll be actually, and I think they have plans eventually to tear the old showroom down. Not immediately, but eventually. So the state of Illinois, Ottawa had no objection because they already exist there. They have ingress and egress, and they'll technically be farther away from the highway than they are now. So that's it in a nutshell. There's the colors are right here. If you have any questions for them, if they have anything they want to add.
I have drawings if you'd like to see them, the site plan.
But you're going back further than that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
we'll
a
be
big
back further from the highway than our current building is now.
Right. All right.
I'll make a motion to approve it.
I'll second.
Take a roll call, take a vote on that?
Curtis?
Yes.
McGinnis?
Yes.
Percy?
Yeah.
Okay, like I told you, that's it for this part. County board meeting is Tuesday the 14th, and I told you about timing and time frames, so you don't have to be here probably any sooner than 10 o'clock or so. And you're not even required to attend. I recommend it though. So
Okay.
all right.
Thank
you.
you. Appreciate it.
Okay, the next is the proposed solar energy development.
Okay, well, present today is Robert Mack. He's an engineer, and he wanted to come in front of the committee just to...
I got a couple of my business cards for you guys.
Just to discuss. He's not formally done anything application-wise. Just wanted to give you kind of some information and of a possibility. So he asked if he could attend, and I said you're more than welcome, and put him on the agenda. So here he is.
Thank you. Hey, thanks for allowing me to be here. I also brought a couple you guys, I guess, can share. This is the company that I'm working with. I'm a civil engineer. I work with Knight Engineering and Architects up north in the Chicago area. and we're working with this company, Soltage, and they're looking to do solar energy development in Illinois. They've identified probably so far about 15 different locations all throughout the state. I'm not familiar, I'm not aware if you guys are real familiar with the Illinois Power Authority's program. You guys got a very progressive and very comprehensive ordinance, which we've talked about, Robert, which is really good. But Illinois is promoting solar energy now as a sustainable energy in Illinois, and I think in next summer, July, August, September, not defined completely yet, they're going to come out with a program for renewable energy credits, which will make the program incentives available for developers such as Soltage and many other companies that are looking to do this in the state of Illinois. Our company currently that I'm working with, Soltage, they've identified 2 sites in unincorporated Iroquois County that they're doing what they call due diligence. They've already talked to the owners. What they would do is they would lease property to build a solar energy field, and the sites that they're looking at, I brought one of the plans. So this is a site called the Wessel site. I don't know if you know the farm. You guys can pass that around, but this will show you. It's roughly about a 10-acre piece of the property, 10, maybe a little more with the excess gravel road. If they build a little entrance service road, would take up about 10 to 12 acres total of the property out there, and they would put a solar array panels out on their property, and they would connect to the electric grid that is currently available right there. There's power poles right on that section of the road over there.
And it's between Waseca and Crescent, just south of 24.
Is it the old, how was it in relation?
See Sprite, the old, it's south, just south of there, about
South
a
of there.
mile or so.
Yeah, actually here, this might help. You can pass this around. This is the site marked down there and relative to the town. Sorry.
That's Waseca, Chad.
Okay.
So my understanding is that they would be leasing property from the owner.
All right.
Yeah.
Um,
I'd like to see that too, when you're done.
I was just made aware, I was also recently in LaSalle County, which is west of here, and they just recently permitted solar energy, a pretty good sized one, I think 2 80-acre parcels. This is a pretty good, they call it utility scale. This is what they call distributed generation. It's the smaller of the solar generation power sites, but in Streeter, Illinois, which is LaSalle County, they have just built one, and I was just down there, and so that was pretty much the first one that I saw in Illinois that was constructed. There's another one in Champaign-Urbana area that University of Illinois just constructed. I think it's roughly this size, about a 20-acre site.
Well, we haven't passed no ordinance on it yet, have we?
The solar ordinance has been passed by the full board.
I brought a copy of that printed. I've been reading it. It's a good one. It's comprehensive. It's got a lot of good information, which we could use to benefit other sites
Would
too.
you say that the credits won't become available probably till next?
It's not, they don't have the program defined yet, but it's in the process of coming out. Illinois is, I think if you go online, it's out there, the draft version of it is out there, and it's under discussion, and all the stakeholders that are in the industry, solar energy, and all the power companies have an opportunity to provide comment on the program. So, well, like I said, you guys are very progressive in thinking forward. You have a pretty comprehensive solar energy ordinance already passed. That's pretty. I'll be honest with you guys, of all the ones I've seen in the state of Illinois, this is the most comprehensive plan. So it's a real good one. And in that plan, I guess you guys talk about a decommissioning plan, setbacks. These are some of the things, drainage, all the things that are concerning, for doing a solar energy development that we would have to consider if we were to propose something. So the company that I'm working for is looking to potentially apply for a permit to be ready to construct a project starting next summer if the program goes forward like they're anticipating. So, like I said, they're currently in discussions with the owners, and they're talking about signing a lease agreement with them based on, as they move forward and evaluate, is this something that the communities would support? Is this something that there's an objection to? And that kind of thing. So they're doing their due diligence and kind of going through the sites that they've identified. They have another site also in Iroquois County that I was just made aware of. It's called the, and I don't have as much information on it. Literally just found out about it this week that they've been discussing. It's called the Iola Kivens site. I don't know if you know where that is. Off the top of my head. This is the street location. I don't have a real good detail, and I'll send you all this stuff. This literally, I just got this information this week that they're looking at potential.
It's up in northwest, about Papineau.
Yeah, in the town of Papineau, yeah. So, that's the second site. So they have two sites that they're looking at. Yeah, sorry. So the way I understand it from the company, the client, they're interested in potentially applying for a zoning permit, a special use permit, or whatever the requirements are for the town or for the county, and they would coordinate obviously with the Soil and Water Conservation District with whatever you need to have done. I didn't recall reading in there if you needed an NRI report for the project. Sometimes the Soil and Water, I know they're right down the building here, they do an investigation of the farm, just the natural resources. I actually was out on the one site. There isn't a whole lot out there other than
We typically, for rezoning, we'll have a soil survey done by Soil and Water, and then they submit a report
okay.
about, just basic soil types and
Right.
that. And so, yeah, we'll probably have one of those done.
Yeah, so I could, like I said, I will work with them to get that started, hopefully fairly soon. With weather changing, you probably would like to get them out there. So just to let you guys know too, that the site, they asked us to survey the site, so there will be a survey on the Wessel site, an ALTA survey, which is pretty much a boundary survey just to identify the corner property markers, and then they'll do a topo survey of the site as well. So that will probably take place in the next month or so, from what I understand. So if you see somebody out there surveying, that's what's going on out there. The other site hasn't advanced anywhere near as far as this one in terms of the due diligence of people, looking at all the issues that might potentially be a concern to the developers.
Which Wessels are? There's tons of them in that.
Oh, okay. So this site,
Is it Marty or is it?
I don't know. They call it the Wessel Legacy. You saw that the family formed a company for families.
I'm not sure which one it would be. It's easy to find out. But
Yeah.
Okay.
So they're, like I said, the Wessel site, they're looking to lease roughly a 20-acre piece of land, 22 acres, something that size, and then within that size, with all the setbacks and everything, the access roads and any other appurtenances that they would need, they would build. This shape right here, where the solar panels would be, is roughly about a 10, 12 acre, actually 10 and a half acre, I just calculated it, so it's the size of it, just to put it in scope. So, have you guys had any other applicants come in?
Not technically, officially. I had another inquiry yesterday about a property just south of Donovan. But nothing formal.
Okay.
So it's, like you said, I think everybody's kind of waiting for the state to put their plan out there.
Right.
To get the ball
See
rolling.
what's going on, yeah.
Just a lot of inquiries about, we have an ordinance and we can get a copy of it, and
Right.
people have been doing that, so, but nothing, you're farther along than anybody
Okay.
that's so far.
Yeah. Did you guys have any questions for me?
I don't.
Answer, maybe?
Or committee does, other than, yeah, so.
Mind if I sit down and try this?
Yeah.
Is these panels already started in Illinois in different places?
Yeah, they have. I can give you some locations.
No, it doesn't matter, I just didn't know.
Yeah, there's
If they're new to them.
it's a relatively new thing. I mean, there's a lot of them going up in the eastern part of the country. And you guys know that Illinois has a lot of coal producing parts. I don't think there's anything in this town, or excuse me, in the Watseka area. I looked on the Illinois Geological Survey, but some of the other sites we are working in, they have mineral rights under the sites, and they're concerned about subsidence. Because if you go further south, like near, in Vermilion County down in Georgetown Township, there's a lot of subterranean coal mining, and they get where the whole road will subside due to the mining. Everything settles, the bridges, the creeks, everything, and then they have to go reinstate the roads. And this company obviously would be concerned if their investment in solar would be subsided, and then they have to go back and do that. So they're trying to avoid, obviously, sites that could have potential for that. But I did do, one of the due diligence things that we're doing is we're looking at the coal mining maps in Illinois, and then if we see something, then we do a little bit more further investigation. But once again, there's nothing in this area that I saw on the maps.
Couple rock quarries, that's about it.
Yeah. I went to school at University of Illinois, and I used to drive 57 down, and it's flat, really flat down here. But believe it or not, this site has a little topography. There is a little bit of slope on it, little bit. I was surprised to see. And then a drainage ditch running not on the site, but to the south. And it looks like there's one on the north too. I don't know. Something's up here. I didn't go on this guy's, on this.
Might just be a waterway.
Waterway, or it could be a vegetation filter strip or something like that.
Yeah, maybe. I was going to go back. It's not too far. Just now that I noticed that, I was going to take a look at it. But then out here, it's pretty flat. A little bit of a bump in the middle there, just a little bit. Not too bad. So yeah, this looks like a good site. They built. If you want, I got a picture to show you. So in Streeter, Illinois, they have wind farms and solar, and interestingly enough, the site that I was at just recently has both. It has right next to each other. They have a wind farm right next to a solar farm, and it'll kind of show you that.
Is it that 20 megawatt facility, like on 100 acres in Granite Ridge?
In Streeter?
Yeah.
It could be, yeah. It could be, yeah. I'll show you
I
the
know there's
pictures.
a proposal to bring another one up there because it's tied right into the wind farm grid,
Yeah,
but it's the same company.
right. So I'll show you those pictures there.
He's on it.
Okay. Yeah, I just saw the sheet. So the Wessels one is a little further ahead.
Yeah. So they're actually gonna do boundary survey and topographic survey. So they feel a little bit more comfortable at that site, that it may happen based on talking to the owners, talking to the engineers about any concerns with engineering, environmental concerns with potential like wetlands or there was no hydric soils on this site. No, there's nothing on this site. I mean, some of the other sites we have to worry, the soils are real bad. So I guess you had a question about what these things generally are. What they do is they put metal posts in the ground roughly 6 to 8 feet deep, and they put the panels on there, so they're ground mounted, and they have an axial system where they could actually, they call it a tracker system, and they can actually rotate them based on the sun changes in the sunlight. So they can maximize all the energy efficiency, which is really good. And actually get rid of the snow, to dump them, get rid of the snow and clean them up that quickly that way too. So so that's what they're doing, and like I said, the decommissioning plan, the only impacts to the property are the posts going in the ground. So what we plan on doing is doing a farm tile investigation, making sure that there's no farm tiles that are impacted, and we would avoid those or relocate around something if we needed to, and then avoid any other major environmental features such as wetlands, creeks, or streams, riparian areas, or whatever. Just stay out of those areas because they have the flexibility of moving these around to wherever suits their need in terms of to avoid a conflict. So, and then they would have a service entrance off of one of the roads, and that would pretty much be it. And you wouldn't see much going on there, until somebody, needed to service something, there wouldn't be no activity. They'd put them up and that would be it. So there's really not a whole lot that they would have to do beyond that.
I've got a silly question.
Yeah,
The solar panels, they tilt forwards and backwards.
yeah, they rotate on an axis.
How about left and right?
Not these, not that I'm aware of.
They don't
No,
tilt left and
no,
right,
no.
just forwards and
Just
backwards.
like this, yeah, yeah. Yeah, they're ground mounted, they're fixed, yeah, yeah.
Sorry,
Yes, sir.
is that built into it with a sensor?
Yeah, they have,
Will they do that automatically?
yeah, you could program them and have, like based on the time of year, when the sunlight is, changing, in the summer when you got more sun, directly over, they can change the angle of it. In the winter months, you could do different things with how, the time of day, maximize when you're gonna have it exposed to the light, so to the sunlight. Yeah, it's all programmable, yes. Yeah, it's pretty good, it's pretty impressive. Still trying to find those pictures for you guys, sorry. If you look in the handout too, there's some pictures in there that you can see. Oh, here it is, right here. There. So, there's the solar panels, and that's probably what you're talking about, right next to the windmill.
That's
The wind,
up at Grant Ridge. We looked at the aerial satellite.
So that was the first one that I saw out in central Illinois.
Yeah.
It just happened to be next to a windmill, wind
That's
energy.
that Grand Ridge, I
Wind farm.
believe, because they're tied into the same power line.
Is there a longevity on these? I mean,
Yeah, that's a good question.
10, 20, 30 years?
They have a 30, I think it's a 30-year lease, and they have to have a decommissioning plan, so if something ever happened where they had another source of energy that was better, or they decided not to do this anymore, they would have to remove, the materials, and all it would be was just taking the mounted posts out of the ground. The soil is not disturbed other than that. So that's the nice thing about it. It's not like mining for energy, where you're actually taking stuff out of the
So
ground.
they actually don't even put footings in?
No,
Or
no,
putting
no,
concrete
it's
in
just
and all?
slab, no, they have one, like a concrete, I think a pad for, maybe like a transformer or pad or something of that nature, but nothing, no, they just drive the tiles, like a fence post, and install them that way, yeah, so.
Are they
Now,
breakable?
Is
If the
this
kids
an
settle down?
American,
No, it's gonna have a fence around it, pardon me?
is this an American company or
Yes.
a foreign company?
Yes, it's an American company.
It is
Yes,
American
yes,
company.
yes, and I'll confirm that, but my understanding was, yeah, here's all, yeah, they're from, I think, New Jersey, I believe?
Yeah, they've done a lot in the New England area.
Yeah. They actually were making solar panels in Danville not too long ago, and interestingly enough, I met with the Danville planner, and while we're doing our search, he said, oh, I got a couple other sites we'd like to recommend to you guys that we think are good sites. So I took pictures and everything, and I'm out there, and he goes, that's where they used to make the solar panels. I guess they shut down the operation. It's not operational anymore, but I took pictures of it, but it's right next to where they would like to put a solar energy field. But the nice thing would be if they could manufacture them right here in Illinois too.
Oh, yeah.
Really nice. So, but they were making them in Danville. I don't know whatever happened now. Danville's struggling a little bit economically with their town or whatever, but
They have for quite a few years.
so they're trying to reinvent a few things down there, and they recommended some sites to us. And I understand you had some sites too, Robert, that you wanted to...
Well, I just recommended, we talked because the power industry is sitting there with a bunch of concrete, just sitting there.
Seats bright.
What sites are those? I'll write them down.
The old Howard Industries right on the north edge of Melford, off of Route 1. And if you go down Route 1, right before you get into Melford, if you look to the east.
North of Route 1, in town of Milford?
Just on the north edge.
North edge
There's a
of
bunch of
Milford?
concrete on the ground, and there used to be an old factory, and it's basically contaminated, so they're gonna leave the concrete
Yep.
alone.
That would be a a perfect site
Yeah,
because
we
there's really no.
have a handful of sites like
Do
that.
you have PIN numbers you can get to me, or is it like, can I contact?
Yeah,
If you can give me the PIN numbers and if you have a contact.
I can email stuff to you.
Okay.
yeah, we have a lot of
Yeah.
old industrial sites that would be
That's,
perfect to bring
and they
them
do,
back to
they
life.
do everything. They do brownfield
We wrote
sites.
our ordinance that way to encourage
Yeah,
bringing those back to life.
that would be great. I'll present that to these guys, and they'll contact the owners and see what concerns that they would have. Are those fairly large sites, or like? I think they need about roughly, I'm going to say 15 acres.
The Howard one wouldn't be that
No,
big.
that would be more of a community
A community one, so
size.
you put it in like to just run maybe like a building or something like that, or some local, something smaller, I mean, you could set it up to run this whole complex of administrative buildings here. You could put something on your roofs. I mean, the smaller scale stuff like you're talking about.
2 megawatt.
Well, that's what these are. These are 2 megawatt.
Because like
the
out
DG.
in, if you go towards Lake Village, I think, or north of Morocco, in Indiana, they have like a 4-acre site that they've occupied, an old business site. But the power line's restricted to 150 kilowatts, 3 lines. So,
Yeah, the small sites are like roughly 2 megawatt
Yeah.
systems. That's what they're trying to get out of it. So they have to have a large enough site to get to 2 megawatts.
yeah.
The
It's
bigger
just a
ones.
spot that might be enough to,
Yeah.
the Sea Sprite spot's pretty,
Yeah, they got some acreage there.
Yeah, there's another one called Sea Sprite.
well,
It
we
used to be.
used to be a boat
Actually,
factory.
that's why I asked which Wessels it was, because the Wessels family owns that location too.
Oh, that's right, they do,
Okay.
but
Sea Sprite.
Yeah, it used to be.
company?
it used to
Right
be
on
a boat
24.
company. Right on 20. Actually, it's just.
What town is that in?
Crescent City.
It's just northwest of where this site is, right here, the one you're talking
Oh,
about.
okay.
Right on
Right
24
on
though.
24.
And then you can still see the old sign, Sea Sprite sign?
No.
No, but you can tell it's an old factory.
It's an old, it's got
There's some boats still there, I
some,
think.
some mold still in
Yeah.
the yard, but
What's the cross street on 24? What, like, how far, like, east or west?
it's about 2.5, 3 miles east of Crescent City and 5 miles west of Watsika.
Yeah, it's right between
Right,
Crescent.
pretty much right in the middle.
On the south side of the road.
And can't miss it.
Okay, I'll go take a look, yeah.
Yeah, we'll get you a lot of our sites.
Yeah, that'd be great. And the PIN numbers, if you have a PIN number, that helps. Because then they,
Bob will.
okay, that's great. So, but yeah, it's exciting. I mean, it's a different thing for me. My background is stormwater management and road engineering, civil engineering, building roads and bridges and that, and doing a lot of stormwater designs management for that. So this is something new that I'm getting involved with. But right now, it's mostly coordinating, doing some investigation of the sites for them, determining are there any, issues that would really be difficult for them to move a site forward. Are there objections? We did a site in Danville. They had 5 sites that they were looking at in Danville. One of them, Danville said, this site we have earmarked for future development. It was in the middle of an area where they built a subdivision and then they brought sewer and water, and they're like, well, that's not right. Then they just said, that's fine, but we're not going to pursue that site anymore. And all the other sites are really good, really nicely located. They're right near, like Quaker Roads has a facility in Danville. So there's manufacturing, and there's reasons for them to want to connect this electric and provide clean energy to those buildings and operations. So this is a good way of doing it. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you guys for your time. I appreciate it.
Thanks for.
If you have any questions, I'll give you my card. And I'll look forward to hearing from you guys in the future. What is the zoning process? What is the timeline for that?
Usually,
I should ask that question, yeah.
just hypothetically, if you say you wanted to start the hearing process and say the end of March, you would have to have your application and all the documentation and the reports and stuff to us by the last week of April.
Okay.
And then we would, no,
May.
I said March.
March.
You said March, yeah.
Last week of February.
Okay, so if I want it, you want a hearing,
You
to be held in March.
Then the zoning board of appeals would be
Right.
the last week of March, and then this committee meets the second Friday. Well, this turned out to be the second Friday, but sometimes it's usually the first Friday of the month,
Right before.
right before the county board meeting, which is always the second Tuesday.
so this is unusual, you're meeting on Thursday?
Yeah, because
Yeah.
tomorrow, we got.
Oh, that's right, you told me that, that's right, yeah, right. So
Typically,
normally it's the second Tuesday of the month?
full county board meeting is typically the second Tuesday of the month.
And the committees are the.
Committees are prior Friday, and zoning board of appeals is the prior month, the last week of the prior month. But we need all the stuff in, almost a full month
Okay,
ahead.
yep.
Because we put notices, legal notices,
Right.
notify all the neighboring property
Right,
owners.
right.
They have the right to be heard at the
Right.
hearings and stuff.
How about Watsika, do they have a voice in commenting, or?
It's not in court.
No, and it's far enough away, I think this site is far
I
enough
mean,
away.
obviously, they do anything
They
they
can
have to
comment,
say,
yeah.
but they can comment. on
Right,
what it-
right, okay.
Um,
And then the other town, Papineau,
Yeah, basically, the people are notified are all the property owners, road commissioners, taxing bodies, so your school districts would be informed,
okay,
your townships and stuff like that.
okay,
And your fee goes to pay for those meetings and
Right.
legal notices and some other
and
things.
are the fees in your ordinance, or I remember seeing them, or, do you have that, probably have that online, all the...
There are some fees in
Yeah.
there.
Yes. Probably in there, right? If they're not, I could go online and pick it up. Not that it matters, right now, I mean, oh, yeah, they are, yeah. Filing fee is $500 for this, and then sometimes they have like per acre too. Oh, here, 2,000. Oh, this is a bond, like an escrow account for decommissioning?
Yep.
Yep, okay,
And
good.
make sure that you have there were some final changes at the last board
Okay.
meeting.
Okay, so make sure you got
Make sure.
I'll double check.
Some of the stuff that Jim Devine added in.
Uh-huh.
I'm just looking at the header.
Yeah, I think
I'm sure.
it said that, it wasn't clear that I thought something said it was passed, but it was still a
Yeah, it
draft.
passed the zoning on, this
25th?
committee on 25th, then it had to go to the Board of
Oh, okay.
Appeals. And then then they passed it and it came back to the
Okay.
here, and then it went from here to the full board.
So there's probably an updated version of this out there right now, yeah,
So,
I got it.
I just noticed the date just to make sure, because I know the state's attorney provided some input as far as
Okay.
some verbiage. The content is generally the same,
Mhm.
just,
No, it's a very, you guys, I don't know how you guys did this, I mean, is there a lot of good information out there already?
Yeah.
There is.
we
Other-
had some folks come in, we did a lot of research.
Mhm.
We had the Grow Solar, the Illinois Grow Solar program, they provided a bunch of input,
Mhm.
and we heard people. I mean, we listened, we heard people.
Mhm. Good, yeah, no, it's good, it's well thought out,
There was- and then-
comprehensive.
The U.S. Department of Energy sent me, through their solar initiative, sent me a lot of information,
Mhm.
samples, ordinances, and so,
Okay.
yeah, this committee did a real good job at working.
Are you, Robert, you the point of contact then for submittals and things?
Yeah.
Very good, okay.
And you have my email.
Yeah, I do.
So,
Okay. Well, I appreciate you guys allowing me to do this.
My card.
Oh, okay.
Just in case.
Thank you, okay. Yeah, I gotta leave this with you guys, yeah.
well, Robert, thanks for coming.
Yeah, thank you guys, yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, sir, yeah, appreciate it. And like the timeline, if they were to proceed with, at least, I know the Westfield site is a little bit more in process in terms of like, they've done a lot of their due diligence and it looks like a good site. The other one, they haven't gotten that far yet, but if they were to proceed on this, it would be, they'd like to maybe start, applying for permits and being ready to go, sometime next July, August, and have a permit in hand maybe to construct something at the next year in the fall. So, yeah. Are there any concerns with the farming, like when you would want construction to start or anything? I mean,
It's up, actually, that's up to the individual, the leasehold, the farmer.
Yeah, right.
And if he signs a lease with you,
Right.
then obviously he can stipulate one, yes or no. And
Right.
So that's between
Right.
property owner and you and the
Right.
company.
right.
service is running late this year.
Yeah, the rain, huh? Yeah. The site that, the Wessel site was already harvested, was corn, and they're done, but there were other sites that were not. You're right. So some of the sites are so muddy, that was pretty, it was, I don't know, the soils that I've been looking at other sites are a lot different. If you go around different parts of the state, they're a lot more hydric in soil. The soil's like more mud. This one's hard pan. It's more like a hard clay with a silt, and almost like a dusty.
We have a good variety of soils in
Yeah,
the county.
yeah, right, right.
All right.
Okay, thank you guys. Yep.
Look forward to seeing this
All right,
grow.
Bob,
Yeah, thank you.
Review general ordinance? Nothing?
Table it, unless you guys want to dive into it, just the three of you.
That's all right. Review the claims.
If it's what's on the sheet, I'm good.
Okay.
Thank you, Bill.
He's already looked at
Yeah.
it.
1 second, guys. As long as you say it for simplification. No, I'll give it back.
Okay, everybody reviewed the claims?
Move to
Move it.
approve them and send them to the board.
If you will.
Second?
Curtis,
Yes.
McGinn,
Yes.
Herzling,
Yeah.
Old business?
I don't think we-
Nothing? New business? Nothing? Okay. Vote to adjourn?
I motion.
I'll second. Aye.